You can only lose weight by controlling what you put into your body.
It's like, can you get healthy starting now? And don't worry about when the results come, because they will come if you change your habits.
Welcome to the first ever Bro Builds podcast. We're super excited about
This is happening right now, and it's gonna be happening for the rest of the year because
the rest of our lives.
Let's face it, we're running out of dad jokes. You know it, I know it, he knows it.
I do know it, it's true.
So we're doing something different. We're talking about all the things that Ryan and I talk about anyways. And if you like our jokes, you may hate this.
But if you like us, for the sake of us as human beings, then you're gonna enjoy this.
Yeah, you're gonna like this, so stick around. We've got a lot of topics that we wanna talk about. Ryan, for instance, has been losing weight, which is something that a lot of us try to do, and he actually succeeded at. So yeah, so you've been losing weight, and I know that you've told me about it. You've been sending me photos, which is really weird to receive photos of a half-naked man on my phone. But it's you, so I don't mind. And so tell me what the latest thing is that you've been doing in your workouts.
I signed up for a personal training program because I watched this guy, Braden Barrett, Look Like You Lift. His program's called Look Like You Lift. I watched him on TikTok, and I just really liked all of his philosophies and just kind of common sense stuff.
Well, like what? Like you only do a few movements, right? Isn't that one of them?
I mean, primary movements, yeah. So he's all about the barbell. So the primary lifts are like bench press, deadlift, and squat, which is pretty typical for powerlifting.
Right.
It's all barbell based, which I really like because I can just do it all from right in here in the shop.
And you don't have to change as much around. You don't have to get a whole bunch of dumbbells to work out with.
Exactly.
That's the one thing that always frustrated me about working out was if you had to have a gym where you went and you had all the different machines, it makes it so much harder to get into shape because it's like going to a place and figuring it all out and doing your whole circuit, adjusting around other people. You know, I've always been the stay-at-home workout at home type of guy.
For sure.
So it's cool that you can do that here.
Well, and what I think, especially for probably 98% of the population, people who are relatively new to weightlifting, even though I've weightlifted a lot in my past, I'm still new because I haven't been lifting a lot.
Yeah.
We just need to simplify.
Yeah.
All this stuff you see, there's a ton of TikTok fitness stuff you can watch and about optimizing different things. And that's great when you're an advanced lifter. And this is something Braden talks about, but it's when you're a beginner, and a lot of people are beginners, even if they've been lifting for a while, just because of where they're at.
Yeah.
Just keep it simple. We don't need to worry about all these little perfect movements that bodybuilders, typically do because they're so advanced that then they can focus on the little things. Whereas for me, dude, bench pressing and squatting and deadlifting, overhead press, and then we're still working triceps and biceps and stuff like that. And I've seen a ton of improvement, and I've gotten a lot stronger in the last 2 months.
If you're at a point where you need to start working out, you could literally just do one exercise. One exercise, like a full, I don't know, what do you think, a squat? What would be the one exercise?
Man, deadlift.
Deadlift. Is that where you go from the ground all the way up here?
No, that's a power. That's clean
like
and
a power
jerk.
clean and jerk. Okay.
Yeah. So deadlift is literally you're just picking up a heavy weight. You could do it with a kettlebell. You could do it with just a bar. I mean, until you get stronger and more advanced.
Right.
And importantly, you do need to have good form. You would need to do some research, and Braden puts out a lot of information for free. He has a 5-step deadlifting that he has on his TikTok, and
that's cool.
You just follow those 5 steps and nail it.
And
you're gonna be safe.
Anything you change is gonna improve your health and get you into that rhythm of just working out regularly, which probably the consistency of it is what helped them most this time. I feel like you were telling me that you were doing something 3 days a week at least, and you didn't miss that ever.
Right, so I did, but on vacation and stuff.
Okay.
So
you made a choice to miss it rather than you miss it out of.
Here's my story. It's been a long process, which it should be. It took me 10 plus years to go from relatively healthy to pretty overweight. So the end of the summer of 2021, I was at my highest weight ever of 255 pounds, which is wild.
You looked a lot different.
Yeah. And I stepped on the scale. We were on vacation, and I was that's too much.
Why did you step on the scale on vacation?
I was just in the bathroom, and there was a scale there,
so
and I
funny.
was just curious. Yeah. But it was good. I was I have to make a change. And the simplest thing to me at that time was I'm just going to start tracking my calories. I don't want to be on some kind of hyper restrictive diet. because I know like if I just try to cut out a bunch of stuff, I'm gonna fail.
Did you feel like your main problem was that you just kind of ate whatever and you didn't like think about it?
100%. I overate. I did a lot of mindless calories.
Like when you're watching TV or something.
Yes, and
Yeah.
you're just snacking on chips, and there's
Yeah.
so many. Anyway, so I made a decision right then, and I said, I'm not going to wait until I get home from vacation. I'm going to start tracking my calories right now.
That's crazy.
Because I think that's one of the problems is like, oh, we'll start on Monday.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll start whenever. So I just started right then. I started tracking my calories, and that was August. By December,
How did you track them? Do you use an app?
I use an app called Lose It. There's a lot of different
Yeah,
apps
yeah.
out there. A lot of people use, I think, like MyFitnessPal.
I've heard
Lose
that
It
one.
was great for me. I liked it. It was, I think, a yearly cost $30 or $40, which I'm like, man, for my health, $30 or $40 a year is 100%
We do
worth it.
so much. We pay so much for things that are unhealthy for
Yes,
us, like
yes.
the snacks and the treats, and going out to Starbucks or wherever, or
Oh,
going
man.
to movies, or just sitting. Anything that you just sit and you pay for, like
Right.
shouldn't we pay for things that we
Netflix,
move?
yeah.
Right. So I think that's a great like mindset as you're going into the
Yeah,
new year. Like,
yeah.
how much am I spending on stuff that's making me unhealthy? Can I at least get a little more spending on the things that make me healthy?
Absolutely. I mean, it's all about priorities. Like 99% of people are on some kind of limited fixed income, and we just have to make decisions. Where are you going to put
Right.
your money? You're going to put your money on the things that are important to you. You're going to prioritize what's important to you.
Speaking of which, like you pay for things that make you happy. Has working out made you happy?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff involved with working out. So like, you know, you get the like dopamine and endorphins and stuff. But bigger picture, there's so much I think psychology and stuff that goes into our health that I don't understand, I don't know about other than personal experience.
Yeah.
I can tell you now the place I'm at, like mentally, obviously physically, emotionally probably, is like 100% better than where I was at when I was at my heaviest.
When you stepped on the scale and you were like unhappy with it.
Yeah,
And just
but-
like that's got to be a big difference.
Right. Not only that, but like it's just like a snowball effect. So like whatever has caused you to get so far overweight, and there's an infinite number of reasons that it could be for different people, but whatever's caused you to get so far overweight, I'd say more than likely there is some element of unhappiness or depression or some kind of negative thing that has played into that. It might be a small part of it, but there's a part of it. There just is.
Is that way for you?
I mean,
Was there something that you were unhappy about?
probably. I'm like,
Okay.
just overall, like, I'm definitely in just a much better place now. Like,
On the way you feel, to who you are physically influences your mind, right?
100%.
Like people say, oh, we need to have body positivity for whoever we are, and I agree.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're happy with yourself anyway, then you just are a more happy person. Like we can't
Mm-hmm.
separate our physical bodies from our mental bodies, right? Like I don't know what you call it, but like the two have always been together.
yeah.
From the day you were born.
And regardless of body positivity, I try to explain to, like, my children. I have 10-year-old daughters.
No way.
Yeah. And it's...
Right, because you're working
it's
out, you're really putting a lot of time into it.
Yeah, and so it's a tough balance of like explaining to my daughters, I want to be healthy, I want to lose weight,
Yeah.
not because it's important to look a certain way, because you know, like I definitely want to tell them like you're beautiful no matter what. Like
Right.
it doesn't, you know, that's not the important thing. The important thing is, and I stress this all the time for them, I'm like, I am getting healthier. Like I want to be healthier. I want to be around a long time for you guys. And so the whole idea of me losing weight is from a health perspective. For me, in my head, yes, I want to look a certain way, 100%. I don't like the way I look when I'm overweight. Maybe other people are fine with it, but ultimately, obesity is not healthy.
Right.
It's not healthy. I mean, body positivity is great, but being overweight is not
And
healthy.
everybody has a different baseline. That's the thing. Like, you know where your baseline is, and you said to yourself, I'm 60, 70 pounds from where I feel like my optimal weight is. And that's the thing. Your optimal
75 pounds.
75. And You're close to getting back to that.
Yeah.
And your optimal weight is totally different from mine, for example.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, for sure.
Like there's probably 20 or 30 pounds difference between us in where we would be. And I'm overweight.
Because I carry a lot more muscle than you.
Right. We're different body types. And I think that's the key when you're looking at other people on social media or whatever else. They're a completely different person. You can never be like that person.
Yep.
And you should never try. You should just try to be the best version of yourself that you can be,
So
whether that's weight or anything else.
The point is you're you, and you can be the best you can be. Very likely, you can be better than I could ever be. But like, don't focus on other people. Focus on yourself and just being the best that you can be, or the best that you want to be. Like the best. Like I wanna get stronger and bigger. Maybe you want to just be the best, like body weight type. You know, like we've talked about this.
Yeah.
Like maybe you just want to be the most.
Well, okay, so we're talking about me personally.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
always wanted to gain weight, but I can't stand the amount of time it takes and the amount of like scheduling it takes to do all the different types of workouts.
Dude.
And I know I look like everybody's like, oh, you're in shape, don't worry about it. No, I'm not in shape. I don't walk or run. I get out of breath when I'm going up and down stairs. Like, I'm not in shape. It doesn't matter what you look like. You might not be healthy. And that's the case for me. You know, I had a son. It's been probably 2 years since I've done anything super physical. So I always prefer to do the body weight exercises. And I say that as though I'm doing it now. I'm not. But I want to get back into it. And my thing is, can I do a full body workout in like 10 or 15 minutes without leaving the house and without having a whole bunch of weights?
And I think
around?
that would appeal to a lot of people because I definitely think the time, the equipment, the
cost,
the complexity of like learning how to lift, because there's a lot to that.
Oh, there's a ton.
So it's overwhelming. So just like some simple body weight stuff, I think would absolutely appeal to a lot of people.
And that's what I ended up doing. When I was at my most healthy, I was doing one type of exercise 2 different ways. I was holding my body off the ground in two different like positions. And one was pushing and one was pulling. And you tried a lot of that too. When you came home from Afghanistan or from the army, we did some workouts like that. And it's really hard for a guy who's bigger like you to do the body weight exercises. But for me, I'm a real kind of like...
I would say the only negative to all that is you didn't get any leg stuff.
Oh, I changed that later on.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I realized that. And so then there was a third component, and that was body weight leg exercise. It's a lot of squats and one-legged squats and one-legged jump squats.
Absolutely.
And once you're doing
Those are
plyometric
brutal.
stuff, like upstairs and everything, then you've got everything.
Well,
you
honestly,
need.
if you can do one-legged squats, that's amazing strength in each leg.
It's really cool to be doing that kind of stuff. So I had a gym membership for a while, and you're off in your own corner doing your own thing. And people are over there lifting heavy weights, and they've got their own thing. But like when you've got a plan and you stick with it, it doesn't matter what everybody else is doing. Like if you can see results, that's what matters. And that's why
100%.
what you're doing is really cool because you're seeing results.
Yeah. So back to results. So 2020, August of 2021, I decided I need to make a change. Started tracking my calories. From August to December, I lost 30 pounds.
Just tracking calories.
Just tracking
Did you
calories.
walk or anything?
I walked. I didn't start lifting weights, but I was walking pretty consistently.
30 pounds. How long of a time period was it?
4 months.
4 months.
4 months. And that shows just how overweight I was. Because the more overweight you are, the easier it is, honestly, to
lose that first like 10% or whatever.
But you also don't see it very much, so it's a little discouraging. So I don't know what happened in December. I just lost it, and I
remember
stopped
that.
tracking calories.
Because you were losing weight and giving me updates. I always get updates. And then you just kind of like stopped.
Yeah. But even so, I gained back 20 of the 30 pounds. So that's a net win, obviously. I mean, that's great. And that, I don't know what time frame that was. I stopped weighing myself. I just stopped doing it. But it was still there. Like, I still needed to get in shape. So fast forward then to June, my brother-in-law and his cousin start working out at Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness is only $10 a month.
We use them too when we live in Kansas City.
Yeah, I mean, that's fantastic.
And they're all over the place.
Yeah, they're all over the place. So I was like, man, $10 a month. I'm just going to get a membership. At this point, I'm 245 pounds. I'm like, I'm just going to get a membership. And if I go once a week, great. That's more than I'm doing before. So what happened is I've always enjoyed going to the gym and lifting weights. So immediately, I was going more than once a week. I was going consistently 3 or 4 days a week.
And you were meeting somebody there.
Yeah, that was huge. That got me the accountability. Accountability is huge. That's what I like too about having a personal trainer is the accountability. So doing that from June until like the end of October, going pretty consistently, missing a week here or there or a day here or there. But the mentality I went into that with, I think, was so beneficial for me. I went into it with the mentality of something is better than nothing, because you got to the gym and you did something. So I start lifting, and then of course it's like, well, I'm lifting weights, I should start eating healthier. And
So that was like a complete opposite of what you did the first time. You didn't worry about your food. You just went did you lose weight not changing your calories but working out?
No, I still changed my calories. I went back to, again, tracking calories. Just
that first period.
It didn't last very long.
Gotcha.
I immediately
You're like, I need to make this better than it is.
Yeah. Because if you want to lose weight, you can only lose weight by controlling what you put into your body. You might be able to lose a very small amount of weight from exercise, but that's very negligible. Like if you look at the information that's out there, and like you look at like the calorie calculators and stuff, the vast majority of the calories you burn every day is just from your body functioning and keeping you alive.
Less coming in than you expend.
Yeah.
That's the only way to lose weight.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you're working out, you're burning more.
But it's not a lot more. It's not
Interesting.
so significant that you can. One of the best sayings out there is you can't out-train a bad diet. I love that saying because it's true. Like if you're already overweight, you're obviously overeating. And if you don't change the amount of food you're putting into your body, then it's going to be really, really, really difficult to lose weight.
You're fighting yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of pushback against the calorie in, calorie out idea, which is silly because it's the law of thermodynamics. It's like literally science. But that's not to say there are a lot of factors out there that can make it more difficult for some people to lose weight. But that doesn't change the laws of physics. You know, it might change their baseline of how many calories their body is burning every day, but that just means you have to lower your calories a little bit more. Like that's what it comes down to.
There can also be I know there's like hormonal things too, and there's types of food that you eat can make you retain water.
But none of that makes it to where you're burning 0 calories.
Right. Right. There's ways to tweak, but you have to somehow reduce calories, increase calorie expenditure.
Yep. Have you heard of NEAT?
No.
So it's non-exercise activity thermogenesis. So it's basically all the movement of your body that's not exercise related.
Just
so
breathing, living.
Fidgeting, breathing, moving, walking. And so that's actually one way that with Look Like You Lift, we increase our NEAT movement is just by making sure you get in your steps every day.
Gotcha.
And I want to say Andrew Huberman, maybe, the Huberman Lab podcast I was listening to, and they were talking about just trying to fidget more, like you can move your legs. And that actually has an effect on the amount of calories you burn every day.
That's super interesting because I actually do that all the time. My knee goes like this.
Don't stop because you'll start gaining more weight.
Well, my wife sometimes is like, "Oh, you're driving me crazy," which I get. I'm right there like a little buzzing fly in her ear. But I could see how my body being constantly moving a little bit does keep me just more fit.
Yeah. I mean, obviously anything you're doing is burning calories. Like your body, it takes energy to do anything.
When and this is the thing that changed in my life that made me gain weight. It wasn't necessarily that my wife was pregnant and we're having a kid and that was changing. We moved to a new house. My old house, I was working on constantly. I was fixing everything up in that house. And it was like having a second job that was like physical labor. When I stopped doing all those projects, that's when I started gaining weight. So just my lifestyle changed. And it wasn't like it was intentional, but after that, I gained 20 pounds over the course of 2 years.
Yep. Well, and for me, so I slowly gained weight while I was in the Army, which the Army didn't like. And realistically, when I got out, even though they said I was overweight, I was still in pretty good shape. The Army just has pretty high standards.
Good.
Yeah, exactly. So then getting out of that, getting out of the Army, I started slowly gaining weight. And I still had a job that was fairly physical. I'd walk around a lot. But when I quit that job and I started doing YouTube full time, which is a lot of sitting down and editing, that was when my real weight gain started. And if you have a job like that, you have to be intentional about making sure you get in your steps and you keep your activity level up a little bit.
So where are you at right now, total weight loss, after how many months of doing this personal training especially?
Okay, so I've been doing Okay, let's go back. So we'll rewind. June, I started weightlifting, tracking my calories again, and eating specifically. I was doing like a carnivore, or what is it, like animal based, where I was eating primarily meat and fruit, which is not necessary.
But you like steak and you like bacon.
Exactly.
So why not?
It worked really well for me. And ultimately, that's what it comes down
Yeah.
to, is you have to eat food that's going to work for you in the long term. And now I have a bagel every day. I have cereal every night that I work out. I have protein powder. I have meat and rice and sweet potatoes, it's amazing.
And it's directly because you have more muscle on your body. Your body is efficient with what it's using. You're eating not crap, it doesn't sound like. I mean, overall.
Overall, yeah.
And so your body can burn more calories if you have more muscle and you're constantly exercising.
But it's not even about that. It's ultimately, as long as you're eating.
Are you still just under those calories?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you're just under the calories. As long as you are paying attention to your amount of calories that you're taking in.
So it's portions?
It's portions. I prep all my meals. Okay, so.
Yeah, you haven't talked about this.
So from June until the end of October, which is when I signed up for the personal training, I went from 245 down to like 210. So I lost 35 pounds. I kind of got stuck at like 215. It was real slow, which I expected it to slow down a lot. Those first few weeks, I mean, the weight just came off. This is what happened is it was a pretty restrictive diet. And so then I was like, okay, I'll give myself a cheat meal once a week. Well, what happened is I was just overeating. And when you significantly overeat even just once a week, you can ruin your calorie deficit for that whole week. And that's kind of what I was doing. And so when I went to the Look Like You Lift program, immediately my daily calorie intake, they actually brought up from what I was giving myself, not including the cheat meals. And no more hyper restrictiveness. They asked me up front, like, what kind of foods do I like, what do I want? So they tailor your meal plan. And so now what I do is like every Sunday, I'll meal prep. I'm the kind of person that can eat the same thing every day. And as long as it's good food, like it's fine. So like every morning I'm having like eggs, bagel, fruit. Lunch is typically like chicken and rice, or chicken and sweet potatoes and fruit. And then dinner is like beef and rice, or beef and sweet potatoes and fruit. I get fruit every meal, and I love fruit. It's so good.
Sounds like a really natural food intake.
So I've been in the training program now for 2 months, and I have definitely gotten a lot stronger. One of the big things is, even though I was working out for a longer period of time, from June to the end of October, I was never good at tracking my lifts and like the weights I was lifting and stuff. With the training program, I track everything, obviously, so my trainer can see it. And so I'm consistently improving, and that has just helped a ton. I've gotten so much stronger over the last 2 months than I did over the previous 4 months. And honestly, simplifying the workout too was big. I was always going around to like different machines and doing different things, but simplifying the workout, and we do change stuff up, but it's helped me gain a ton of strength. And I started the training program at 210, and now I'm down to 191.
So you've inspired me, obviously. Like, you've been showing me the results you're getting, and I've decided to make a change as well for 2023. We're going to keep following his progress, but I'm also going to try to get healthy too. And I'm going to change my office from just an office into a workout room as well.
Nice, I love it.
I'm going to get some dumbbells, because one of the things I miss doing in my body weight only workout is shoulders.
Oh, shoulders.
Yeah, I love doing these, and like, I don't know why, I just love doing shoulders. So I'm gonna do dumbbells. I'm gonna get one like aerobic machine, like an elliptical, and my wife and I are gonna get a little more in shape. And the thing is, I know I can do it because I've done it before, but I've just been so like blasé about it. Like, oh, I'll get in shape later.
Just like with money, you have to prioritize your time. You just have to choose what you're going to spend your time on.
And I'm going to put some money into it. I'm going to buy these things, set up the room. I'm going to make it happen, because I don't want to sit here and just let this continue to be an unhealthy life that I'm living.
Absolutely. I love it.
So if any of you guys have a tip for losing weight or working out, leave it in the comments. Ask us questions if you want. We're definitely going to revisit this topic later and have more podcasts.
And I would say, for anybody who is wanting to lose weight and you're just overwhelmed by, there's just so much information out there. There's so many things you can do. Don't get overwhelmed by it. Just start with 1 or 2 small changes. A great change I think you can make is just start walking. Like, try to walk 2 or 3 times a week for 10 minutes. Just do a little bit more than you were doing before. And then another one you can do is track your calories. Use an app like Lose It, and that makes it really easy to track calories. And those two things are going to be super beneficial.
And don't think you have to make a change immediately or see results immediately. It's about a lifestyle alteration rather than like, oh, I'm going to lose weight in a week or 2 weeks. It's like, can you get healthy starting now? And don't worry about when the results come, because they will come if you change your habits.
Absolutely. It's not going to happen fast. Like, don't expect fast changes.
2 years.
It's been
basically.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's been like a year and a half for me. And I can't remember who said this, but they talk about like, how long did it take you to gain the weight? Why do you expect to lose the weight so much quicker? And honestly, the longer it takes you to lose the weight, the more likely you are to keep it off and honestly probably appreciate it more.
All right, guys, leave a comment down below if you've got some tip that you want to give all our listeners and viewers. And if you have any questions for Ryan, leave that down there too. We'll answer them in future episodes as well.
If you guys want to help support the new podcast and you like our bro gear, bro hats, bro mugs, we've got bro shirts, go check them out at brosnotpros.com.